York Jets have never, ever, ever beaten the Philadelphia Eagles. The New York Jets are trying to get either A.J. Brown, Deebo Samuel, or Jalen Zacharias Metcalf. Greatest name, by the way. This should never happen. If the Eagles can't pluck one of these guys out before the New York Jets, you gotta fire everybody. Dallas still stinks. You're my do-way, King Dingbat here, and I hope everybody's having a great Monday. I hope you guys are doing well, as everybody is sitting there today talking about the Oscars and why you would want to talk about the Oscars. It stinks. I haven't watched it in 20 years. I didn't watch 1 second of it at all, except for the stuff on Twitter about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock in the face. And I'm going to say this right now. 60% chance that's a setup. Complete, utter setup. 60% chance. I'm calling it. Why? Because the Oscars stink. And nobody's watching it. But now people are talking about it. But not me. Because while everybody's thinking about the Oscars, I'm thinking about one thing. How the hell is this offense going to get better? When are we going to give weapons to Jalen Hurts? That's what I'm thinking about. Because I think about things that matter. Now, before I continue with this video, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe for Eagles content, NFL content every day. You don't want to miss anything that goes on here because we don't script slaps. We slap for real around here. So definitely like, subscribe, and if you've been here for a while, just double check, double moonwalk check you're still subscribed. YouTube's been unsubscribing people multiple times, some people. So just double check. Now, let's get into the Eagles and what matters. Eagles, football, draft, free agency. What the hell are we doing? You know, what are we doing? I keep thinking about the Eagles situation. And I keep thinking about what we've done this free agency and what we're going to do in the draft. We have 3 first-round picks going into the draft. We have free agency, which really, we're down to what, like the 3rd, 4th level. And when I look, especially from an offensive standpoint, there's not very many options to me that I really like, that I think could come in and help really change this offense. I guess one guy out there still is Jarvis Landry, but he's asking for $20 million a year. I don't think the Eagles are going to pay him $20 million a year. I don't know if other teams are going to pay him $20 million a year. And I keep thinking about it. Like, when you look at the Eagles, and you look at the Eagles this year, and you look at the team they had last year, I think from a defensive standpoint, the Eagles are better. They are better defensively than they were. Just adding Hassan Reddick has to upgrade that defense on some level. Does it not? Does it not? Now, we don't know what's going to happen to the cornerback situation. What if we get a worse corner than Steven Nelson? It could even this whole thing out by the end, or by the end of free agency going in training camp. So we don't know. It's not over. We're still pretty early in free agency. So we have to remember that. Maybe there are some moves that the Eagles are going to make. And that's why, when I look at the offensive side of the ball, and I say the Eagles aren't improved at all. You could tell me, well, Zach Pascal's an upgrade from J-Jaw. Yeah, it's a slight upgrade. Maybe you get an extra 15 yards a game. I don't know how big of an impact that really is. I don't really think it's enough. So what is this team going to do for Jalen Hurts? What are they going to do? I still think that in this draft, they're going to trade one of their first-round picks for a first-round pick next year. And I still think they're going to lean towards defense in the defensive tackle spot with the first pick. So when do you help the offense? When do you help Jalen Hurts? The only thing I can think of is that the Eagles tried already one time to make a trade for a wide receiver. They're going to do it again. But who are they going to trade for? That's the question. Because, listen, you trade for Devontae Parker, all right, he helps you a little bit, but to me, that's not a game changer. If you really believe in Jalen Hurts, if you really believe that he's the guy, you need to go out and get him somebody. And if you don't believe he's the guy, then you need to make sure you have multiple draft picks next year. But I say, why not do both? Because there are some receivers out there that I think could play with any quarterback. So if you can make the move, make the move. Now, what receiver could they possibly get? I don't know. It seems like there are teams that are looking at 3 specific guys. Now, 2 of these guys I don't think are getting traded or getting moved. But there was a report yesterday I want to look at where it was talking about NFL trade rumors. And it was talking about the Jets. And it was talking about how the Jets are looking at 3 guys and they're waiting to pounce because the Jets tried to get Tyreek Hill. It did not work. And the Jets went out and they are keeping, and this is according to ESPN's Rich Cimini, and I don't know him too well and stuff, but he says the Jets are keeping an eye on the situations of Seattle's Jalen Zacharias Metcalf, Tennessee Titans A.J. Brown, and San Francisco 49ers Deebo Samuel. And it talks about that there's no indication that any of these guys are going to get traded, but with the prices that Davante Adams received, with the prices Tyreek Hill received, these guys, A.J. Brown, Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf, are going to make a lot of money, possibly more than what those guys made, because you know how it works, right? You get a high contract 1 year. You could have a quarterback make, the most money, and then in a couple years, he's making top 10 money. Look at Patrick Mahomes. Remember when Patrick Mahomes signed his deal? Everybody was like, oh my gosh, Patrick Mahomes, what a crazy deal. Now, a few years later, it's like it's not even one of the top salaries at the quarterback position. So these receivers who are in line right now, the Deebo Samuels, the A.J. Brown, the Jalen Zacharias, those guys are in a position where they're going to break the bank. They're going to break the bank. So you get a team like the Niners, you get a team like Tennessee, maybe they're not going to have the cap money. Maybe they're willing to move those guys. Now, I got to be honest with you. I think it's far-fetched that A.J. Brown or Deebo Samuel will go. I don't think either of those teams will let them go. But Jalen Zacharias Metcalf is the guy to watch. He is the guy because the things that I'm seeing happen in Seattle are lining up perfectly with a team that is about to trade him. That I think that it could happen. Because, one, you lose Russell Wilson. You trade Russell Wilson, now they have what? Drew Lock. Okay. He comes out on ESPN or something. DK Metcalf is like, yeah, Drew Lock, he's my guy. I trust him. That tells me he's playing the contract. Because there's no way he could believe in that quarterback. He stinks. All right? He stinks. So we don't believe in him. He's trying to get a contract. And the Seattle Seahawks don't know if they're going to be able to do it. Now with the inflated prices of Tyreek Hill. Now with the inflated prices of Davante Adams. DK was asking for $25 million before all that. He's going to want more money now. So if you're a team like the Seattle Seahawks, a team that is going to have to transition and rebuild, more so than a team like the Niners, who are kind of built to win right now, Tennessee, kind of built to win right now, he's the guy that could go. Now, the Jets are waiting to pounce. They've got assets. They've got people to go get. And to me, there is no excuse. If I hear DK Metcalf goes to the Jets, I am going to lose my mind. I am going to lose my mind. We've never lost to this team in the regular season. We've never better lose out on a trade. You know what I mean? It should never happen. The Eagles need Jalen Zacharias. They do. They need the wide receiver. And the reason is because at what point, if you don't trade for a wide receiver, at what point are you going to get him? Now, you could get a rookie. You could go get a Traylon Burks or Olave or all those guys. But you know how it is with rookie receivers. That doesn't mean they're always going to come in and start right away. I want a proven veteran that can come in and plug in right away. Then, the second round, you want to take another receiver, Christian Watson or somebody like that. I'm all for it. But If the Eagles don't address offense in free agency, through some sort of trade, when are they going to do it? And no, I know what you're thinking. No, I did not just come back from the Oscars last night. It was not me. I was not consoling Will Smith. I know I look like Denzel Washington, but that wasn't me. I just really look like the guy. So why everybody this morning is looking at me like, hey, you were in Oscars. That wasn't me. I just look like the man. But anyways, and I'm serious, I do. So, anyways, the way I see it, either the Eagles are going to trade and get some offensive help before the draft, or we're not really going to get it at all next year for Jalen Hurts. And to me, that is bad news for Jalen Hurts and for those that think Jalen Hurts is the future. Because if you don't get him weapons, I think it's going to be a much harder time for him to convince the Eagles that he's the quarterback going forward because you didn't give him enough help. So when do we get him offense? Like, to me, if you go out and you get him offense in the first round with a wide receiver, the most likely case scenario is that's more of a move 2-3 years down the road. Not every receiver that is a rookie is going to come out and produce like Jamar Chase, like Devontae Smith, like some of these rookies. Now it happens, but it doesn't always happen. So we just don't know. It's a risk. I'd rather have a guy I could plug in like a DK Metcalf. And let me tell you, if you have DK Metcalf and Devontae Smith, and you realize Jalen Hurts isn't the guy, well, guess what? I'm pretty sure those receivers can play with most quarterbacks. I think it's pretty safe. So it's going to be a great question because I don't think free agent wide receivers were that keen on coming here. Not because they don't like Jalen Hurts, but it's just because of the style of offense. They're not going to get many passing targets. And I talk a lot and I harp a lot on the wide receiver, but the truth is just making your offense better also could be another running back. We definitely need another running back. We definitely, in my opinion, still need another right guard. I'm not a big Isaac Seumalo guy. I think he's good in run blocking. I don't particularly like him in pass blocking. Now you want him to go left guard to right guard, so that's an adjustment. Driscoll's okay, but if I could upgrade it, I would. So I don't know how this thing's going to go. But I know that if under normal circumstances, if things were normal, I would say that the Eagles have gone defense and free agency are going to go offense in the draft. But with multiple picks, you have expiring contracts with defensive tackles next year, and you have a couple really good defensive tackles, and you have multiple picks. It's hard for me to believe that the Eagles are going to go in this draft and just go offense. Like I don't think early they're going to just go offense heavy. I don't. I think the Eagles have something brewing. There's got to be something Howie's going to do that is going to... And I bring up DK because he's only one of the clear names that's still out there. Maybe a Laviska Shenault, although that's... we don't know. That's a risky move too. Maybe a Chase Claypool. Maybe somebody we're not thinking of. But I got to believe somewhere Howie has something up his sleeve. He usually does. We're going to find out. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Are the Eagles content to have this really be their offense next year? Or do they have something brewing? Take care. Talk to you later. Don't be a dingbat. And of course, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. Could you imagine if in the draft, the Eagles, with their early picks, they just go like all offense? Like they go receiver, offensive line, maybe in the two receivers, I don't know. Could you imagine if they just go offense and we totally miss this with their defense and stuff, what they're doing? I guess it's possible. With Howie Roseman, anything's possible. The thing that is the most confusing to me is I just can't believe they haven't tried to help Jalen Hurts yet. I'm still waiting for it. I gotta think it's gonna happen. And I gotta think the most reliable way is a trade. The question is who are we missing? Is there anybody out there that any of you guys are thinking of? Besides all the guys we've talked about, Deebo Samuel, A.J. Brown, Metcalf, Chase Claypool, Laviska Shenault, Devontae Parker. Is there anybody else we're missing? Because usually it's the guys that we're not thinking of. That's where Howie strikes when you least expect it. With that said, Denzel Washington out.